of the keys to a very successful practice is going to be really good patient retention. You want your patients to continue to come back over and over so you can actually fix them. Once they're better, they're welcome to go off on their own, but let's get them all the way better rather than just temporarily better. And in order to do that, they need to stay so that you can continue to get them better until their function is fully restored. One of the really big keys with patient retention is shrinking their fears. Patients are coming to you because they're nervous about something. They have something going on in their life, a pain, an ache, or something they're stressed about. Maybe it's nutrition, maybe their bowel movements aren't moving right, but they're coming to you with some concern. Your job is to truly listen to that concern and figure out what's truly going on with them. That way you can give them an accurate diagnosis in English, please, right? We don't say lumbalgia, we say lower back pain, because that's the words they're using. So if they come in and they say, you know, I have chronic funky headaches, you can respond to them and say, okay, so for those chronic funky headaches, we're going to do X, Y, Z. So you always want to educate them on what it is you're going to do, what's truly going on with them, and how what you're going to do is going to help them get better and stay better for good. One of the best things that we do as chiropractors is we help listen to whatever our patients are talking about. It's so key for us to listen to what they have to say and to shrink their fears. So when they come in and they have a herniated disc or they have a torn rotator cuff, you listen to that and you go, oh my gosh, herniated disc, I understand, I get it. That does not mean you're crippled. That does not mean it's the end of the world. It's not a death sentence, and we can help you with that, and this is how. So you want to educate them on whatever that is that's going on in their body, whether or not it's even relevant, because a lot of times you'll get a herniated disc patient, and it was herniated 6 years ago, so since then it's healed. Herniated discs heal just like everything else in our body heals. And so you can tell them, you know, it's most likely healed and that's likely not the cause of your issue anymore. So let's look and see what the real cause of your issue is. If it does happen to be the herniated disc, no problem, because you're going to teach them how to have a more stable core so it pulls the discs apart and gives it lots of room. You're going to teach them to have a more stable butt muscles and more stable pelvis so their lower back doesn't have to work as hard and not have as much compression on that disc. So you want to educate them on what it is you're going to do and shrink their fears. So they'll still have that herniated disc fear in the back of their head, but they'll shrink it down, they'll be able to put it up on their bookshelf, and they won't have to look at it ever again. But they still have it, and we still understand that they have it, so you want to acknowledge the fact that they do have a herniated disc, and then walk them through how what you're going to do is actually going to fix that, actually going to address that for them. Always come from a place of encouragement. You never want to make their fear bigger, you always want to make it smaller. You also want to continuously let them know as they're getting better, how they are getting better. So show them that they're able to stand longer. Double check with whatever concerns they came in. If they can't stand for more than 10 minutes on day 1, make sure by day 2 or 3 that they can stand for a full hour and feel great, and then point that out to them so that they feel wonderful about it. The other big key with patient retention is making sure they understand that they're not better just because the pain goes away. Their function needs to be restored. So the homework is designed to restore their function fully. So as you give them the homework, you encourage them to continue to do that homework. And again, keep pointing out when they're getting better and better and better. Shrinking those fears down, right? They come in with a herniated disc. You say, okay, Joe, I know you have a herniated disc. I understand you've been carrying around that diagnosis for some time now. Now let's do some homework so that the herniated disc is no longer a big deal. And don't make it a big deal. It really isn't a big deal unless it's a fresh, brand new herniated disc. It's not that big of a deal, and we can support the area around it and make it feel better so it stays better. So take Joe, sit him down and say, Joe, this is what you're going to expect. This is how soon you're going to feel better. And this is what I'm going to do that's going to assist you in that, and your part is going to be the homework. So making sure that Joe understands that there's a number of visits involved, and then at the end of those number of visits, he's going to feel much, much better with each progressive visit. That will shrink his fears down, and then of course get results, right? So as you get those results, Joe's fears will get smaller and smaller and smaller, and he'll continue to stay through the end of care. And since you're speaking English to Joe and not chiropractic to Joe, then Joe can go out and sell you to all of his friends and family members, and then you have a full practice full of Joes that love you and that are getting better.